Are you the only guy you weren't that high on?
What's wrong? He's gotten some good breaks, but I think his luck's gonna run out.
You're gonna add a weekly focus jazz email blast.
Or education, or focus. Like, I mean, what's the idea here? We already have a bunch of weekly emails.
Please, no more weekly emails.
Listen, I agree, but I feel like there's some advanced stats that our coaches may not know. So mind, give an example, focus improvement goal, 1 per week, simple, but we all get on the same page.
That'd be great, I guess. Do it.
What's shaking and Pete?
Over here, over here.
first flash for our trading partner. The first 10,000 fans through the arena will receive a trading card pack. Arrive early to the fan zone and get the signed by Jazz Bear and the Jazz Dancer. Well, folks, be here for a blanket giveaway day. You get a free Jazz Please blanket.
Tickets are still available for the next draft. Purchase your tickets today. Visit the ticket counter for available dates or sign up for season tickets.
Well, folks, be here for a blanket giveaway day. You get a free Jazz Please blanket.
Hello, and here we go. And now let's go to Jennifer Quintana.
Tonight, you are facing off with Ace Bailey. Any thoughts on that?
Wait. The guy from Rutgers, right? Honestly, no. I only watched college basketball in March, and they didn't even make the tournament. I've heard he's good, though. I mean, or at least supposedly. Obviously, he got...
Back to you, Brian.
Much appreciated, Jennifer. Thank you. Well, Shams, we knew franchise values were skyrocketing, but then the Lakers sell for $10 billion with a B, $10 billion.
This new group taking over is exceedingly deep-pocketed as well, BA, and those resources may help this team continue to be the league's flagship franchise.
League's in a very healthy spot right now, no question.
That's for sure, and these prices with teams are just going to continue to go up.
And now the Los Angeles starters. Reeves and LeBron out on the perimeter. Then it's DeAndre Ayton. Then it's Luka Doncic. And it's Mr. Incredible in at the power forward position. And for Utah, we've got Bailey, George out there with Collier. Then it's Kyle Filipowski. And it's Kessler in at the center position. And you look at this rookie class. MP continues to scratch and claw, trying to cement his place as one of the best and brightest.
In terms of rookies, MP is up there in talent, and we've seen flashes of it. I think he's had a good year. I wouldn't call it great quite yet. There's some room for improvement for MP. But honestly, guys, that's all rookies at this point of their careers. Yeah, attacking in the lane, I like that. Really not just hanging out on the perimeter.
Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Will Hardy gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. I asked him, how do you plan to deal with Luka Doncic? He laughed and said, I think that's a question the entire league is asking. Luka is amazing. He's been a superstar from day one, and what impresses me the most is his poise. Nothing seems to get to him. Back over to you, BA.
Good job there, Allie. Thanks. And you talk to front office insiders, they'll tell you depth is a necessity for a winning team, Shams.
With more parity, that comes more competition. And I'm told front office executives are continuing to scout players that they feel bring that competitive drive, that desire, that will to want to play and compete on a nightly basis. Because these games this season gets long. It's not as frequent when you can just coast through games. You need some real horses to finish the race of the regular season.
Yeah, good point. And it's Utah with the ball. The Lakers getting their last shot to go. George with it. And in that game with Sacramento, he did not play well. Shot clock at 5. And he lobs it up top. And finished off by Kessler.
Well, it doesn't take much for Kessler to catch that lob and slam it home.
First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. From the arc. Kessler with a rebound. For Utah, they've gone 3 of 4, off to a nice start. And it's approaching 2 decades since the launch of the modern smartphone, Shams. It's put the game in the palm of your hand.
Well, you know, I don't go anywhere without my phone, and of course, that accessibility is a key part of why Adam Silver says the league has been supercharged by technology. Social media and our phones are a big part of the game.
Can you imagine it any other way at this point?
Absolutely not.
Here's Mr. Incredible. The Jazz making their last shot. Pass to Doncic. Here's Ayton. He's covered by Kessler. And Ayton with the stuff.
Putting that size to great use. All Ayton has to do is pop up to catch the lob.
George outside. Just under 3.5 minutes elapsed here in the first quarter.
Wow. Missed the easy one right there, right at the rim, but came up empty.
Doncic passes to Mr. Incredible. Three-pointer, no good. And so it's George with it. He brings it up for the Utah Jazz. Last time they faced off, it was right here at home where they couldn't get it done.
I'll tell you what, once things started to go downhill, their performance plummeted. It wound up getting pretty ugly.
Yeah, they just committed too many mistakes at both ends. But credit their opponent for being disruptive.
The Jazz have gotten 5 of 7 shots to fall. And here's Bailey for 3. It's rebounded by Los Angeles. Their last game, a win against the Clippers, looking to carry it into this one.
A big difference in that one. Their ability to convert from range. By and large, they took some really good shots.
And they were just draining it from outside. A great team shooting performance.
And it's Utah with the ball, following the score by Los Angeles. And Luka Doncic is going to pick up the foul. Over the last 7 seasons, a different champion every year. The league's as wide open as it has ever been.
BA, remember also, through the NBA's first 51 seasons, the Lakers and the Celtics won more than half of the NBA titles. So this is a conscious effort to engage fans league-wide and create an opportunity for everyone to compete evenly every single year.
Yeah, not just a big market league anymore. And so in the game for the Lakers, we've got Marcus Smart. He's out there with Luka Doncic. Rui Hachimura is out there with LeBron James. And it's Mr. Incredible in at the 4. A nice shot by Filipowski.
Yeah, every coach wants assisted buckets. Guys like George, they move the ball.
Los Angeles has gone 2 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the second. All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Thanks. Well, Mr. Incredible in their last matchup against the Clippers put on a show. He scored 28 points, and in terms of his shooting, well, mistakes and bad selections were few and far between. It was a fantastic game for him. He found multiple ways to chip in, and you know he wants to repeat that tonight, guys.
Allie, we appreciate the update. Impressive ability to carry his team to victory, Grant.
Yeah, B.A., I was really impressed. They wouldn't have won the game if it wasn't for his attacking mindset and will to win.
Yeah, and we're likely to see them go to him early on. See if he can't replicate that performance.
You gotta love how they've been crashing the boards, fighting hard for every miss.
And Shams, as always, it was a pleasure to have you with us here tonight. Thanks for making the time, man.
Of course, B.A. Call me anytime. Let's do this again. I'm always available for you, B.A.
Best to call, text, email, or send a snail mail.
All of the above.
Yeah, and I'll say this. You won't need a harder worker in terms of NBA coverage. Shams has amazing dedication to his craft.
Now here's Doncic. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Clippers.
Well, that one should be in his wheelhouse, but just off the mark.
Smart against George. And finished off by Kessler.
Well, that's what Kessler brings to this offense. A constant lob threat.
There's 38 seconds left in the second. Smart outside. Inside. Oh, George with a steal. Here's Sensabaugh. Check by James. To the inside. Here's Kessler. And finished off by Kessler.
And they're building up steam, getting out in front and trying not to look back.
Well, look, we've seen that no lead is safe these days. You got to keep scoring and extending that margin.
For 3, Collier. That misses. Would have counted had it gone. And so it's the Utah Jazz, up by a healthy 8 points at the end of the period. Their key to consistency has been their dominance in the paint. They've been the more physical team. We're coming right back. Don't go anywhere.
Good evening, everybody. Can you guess what we're starting the show with? Wow, you guys are good. Time for the power rankings.
I think for the Jazz, they do not look good.
They seem to be going from bad to worse.
That's right.
And it's no surprise to see them.
All right, looking back now at that first half, we just saw some obstacles to overcome for the Los Angeles Lakers. That does it for halftime.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast thus far. We're halfway through the game. You know, LeBron James has been exceptional here, guys.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
Yeah, and in terms of slowing him down, I think they're going to have to change things up. Give him some different looks.
Collier is out there with Keontae George. Then it's Kyle Filipowski. Then it's Bailey. And it's Kessler in at the center position, locking down the middle. And that's the group for Will Hardy as we begin the second half. And the Jazz haven't been past the second round since 2007. Now trying to build a contender.
Well, B.A., they know in the West that's a tall order. They got to be patient and build this thing from the ground up.
2 on the clock from behind the arc. Rebound, the Lakers. It's off to L.A. after this game, where they'll face the Clippers. That'll be their second of 3 games total on this road trip.
Well, there's a reason Ayton has a high field goal percentage every year. He typically takes shots he knows he can make.
Here's Filipowski after the Lakers picking up a basket just moments ago. Here's Bailey. And Ayton pulls it down. Lakers trail by 4. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the third quarter. Here's Mr. Incredible. Hasn't gotten one to fall yet. Back to Doncic. The 3 is up. Kessler with a rebound. Kessler's got his 4th rebound in this one. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Thanks a lot, guys. A big win here or there can really sustain a rebuilding team, and Utah coach Will Hardy said the results matter in order to keep belief in your process. Seeing the work pay off. The building of a team doesn't happen in one day. The players are staying with it, and they deserve all of the credit for that. Back to you, B.A.
Okay, Allie, thanks for the report. The basket counts, and 1. He'll go to the line, a chance at a 3-point play.
They're playing great team basketball. It's good movement and sharp, crisp passing.
Everyone has their opinion on the game, and some fans believe too many threes are being taken.
Well, teams are going to do what wins games. As far as the aesthetics of the game, does the league office want to make an adjustment? We'll just have to wait and see. And another great assist. The offense is really clicking now.
To the wing on the left. Lets the 3 fly. Mr. Incredible, good. Mr. Incredible's gotten himself going with a triple, his first basket of the game. And so Will Hardy calls the timeout. I think right now he might be looking at some adjustments. Sensabaugh is checked in for Collier. Hachimura's checked in for the Lakers. Marcus Smart comes in for Reeves. Now here's George, giving them some good production, putting up just around 16.5 points a game. Pass to Kessler. Utah moving the ball around.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
Here's Bailey, defended by Smart. And Bailey gets it to go.
Soft defense. I mean, they've given up 10 of the last 12 points inside.
And Grant, when it comes to pure shot-making ability, scouts love Ace Bailey's natural tools.
Yeah, when he's taking good shots, he can carry the offense. He needs to get a little stronger and clean up a few things, but his upside as a scorer is tremendous.
We've gone about 3.5 minutes here into the third. Pass to Sensabaugh. Here's Bailey. Now Filipowski. Here's Bailey. The layup off target. Now James. 11 points in the game. Drills it from deep. Mr. Incredible's got 6 points in the quarter.
You can see the confidence building now that he's found his mark from 3 in this second half. The defense is going to have to do a better job.
Now here's George. Pass to Filipowski. Here's Bailey with the drive. Count that one. Bailey's got 8.
They have no answer defensively inside.
And James has got the ball here for Los Angeles. They trail by 6. Here's Mr. Incredible. That's good. And it's Smart with the assist. Mr. Incredible's gotten his 3rd basket of the night.
Well, after a scoreless first half, he's turning things around here, looking much more aggressive.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Pass to George. Three-pointer. It's rebounded by Los Angeles. Doncic has got 4 rebounds now. Uses the glass on the layup. And now just a 1-point Jazz lead.
They've been aggressive during this run, but they've also played under control.
Yeah, you know, I like how they're not relying on just one guy to get it done. They're sharing the ball and keeping the defense guessing.
That concludes the third quarter. It continues to be an exciting neck-and-neck game. We've reached the fourth quarter. Getting ready for Utah. Kessler, he's checked in for Nurkic. Filipowski comes in for Niang. Bailey's checked in for Anderson. And it's George in for Sensabaugh. A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
I was able to listen in on what Will Hardy was going over with his team. Coach asked his team, can anyone knock down a three? Reminding them three-point shooting will open up the floor, make things easier in the half-court offense. Everyone loves making threes. Missing? Not so much. Guys?
All right, appreciate it, Allie. On the court for the Lakers. Luka and Reeves are the 1 and the 2. Then there's LeBron James. Then it's DeAndre Ayton. And it's Mr. Incredible in at the 4-man spot. Here's Collier, guarded by Doncic.
Beautiful setup on the alley-oop.
Great catch, great flush. 2-point game. Outside Reeves. Doncic, a screen on George. Reeves fires. The free is in.
Yeah, just a huge bucket for Reeves. How this guy goes undrafted, I'll never know.
Kessler outside. Here's Collier. Filipowski sets a screen. He shoots. Reeves there for the rebound.
I know he's on a cold streak, but he can't let that get in his head.
Yeah, they might want to draw something up here to get him something at the rim or get him to the free throw line. Sometimes that's all it takes to snap a cold streak.
Here's Collier. George! Cash from downtown!
Check out George showing up in the big moment, showing how ready he is to be that guy.
Can't hit it. Utah has gone 1 for 3 in the fourth quarter from range. Oh, off target from downtown. And so James will bring it up for the Lakers. Takes a three. The triple. LeBron James.
You expect he's going to find a way to pull through in the clutch.
Jazz trail by 3. Here's Collier. Outside George. Bailey. Oh, he comes right back with a 3 of his own.
Moments like this speak to Bailey's level of confidence. This rookie doesn't back down from the spotlight at all.
Fires the 3. Oh, it's off. A critical possession with time winding down.
Yep, this is their moment.
George with it. Picked up by Reeves.
Whoa, that is as clutch as it gets. Big time clutch.
Yeah, don't you just love to see a player embrace that kind of pressure?
Oh, the stuff!
Well, they put their faith in Ayton, and he delivered.
And so Will Hardy calls for the timeout. There is a lot on the line, and he is determined to make sure everyone's on the same page. They've led by as much as 10. Outside George. Oh, can't hit the jumper. So it's Los Angeles now. James outside. Ayton.
Right there, Ayton stepping up, understanding what this team needs from him.
And this is so critical. They now have to score every trip up the floor.
Yeah, they need everything to break their way at this point if they're going to rally back.
The lead is 2. Shot clock and game clock, 1 second differential. Bailey passes it in, and we've got a timeout called by J.J. Redick, and a great call on his part. This is the time you want to be in sync right here. Kessler with a rebound.
Man, coach is going to have a few words with him after that shot.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't the shot they were.
It goes! Are you kidding me?
That's how you beat the clock. Wow. An amazing finish. It doesn't get any better than that.
Wow. Those are the moments you live for as a player. And as a coach, you're just thankful to come away with the win.
And so it's Utah who scraped by with the win. That was an incredible night of hoops. A tremendous finish. They waited until the very last moment to seal it.
And so many times we see these close games won by the home team.
And now let's catch up with Dominic.
You guys showed some fight tonight, but ultimately came up short. What do you need to move on from this?
Win.
Any adjustments?
Not really. I just got to play harder, grab some boards, be better, top to bottom.
Ryan, back to you.
Okay, Dominic, thank you. And that'll do it, folks. For Stan Van Gundy, Grant.
All right. Finally got a chance to go against Ace Bailey. What you think?
Bro, it's tough.